because I get to fail in public, which is great. Hi, I'm Ava. I'm here from Swansea. I know, we're real classy here in Swansea, aren't we? Yeah. I've been doing some thinking about my life lately. It's not gone well, but I have been learning about men. And this is an important lesson, ladies, learning about men. What I've discovered is you need to think about men differently to how we have been, okay? You need to think about them almost like they're a smartphone, okay? And they have apps, right? So when an app is enabled, you get a certain behavior, and when the app is not enabled, you don't get that behavior, and this is how you can manage your man. Now, I'm going to provide you with some evidence of this, because obviously I don't expect you to just believe me. But ladies, do we or do we not know a gentleman with a caveman app? You know this because if he does something for you, he wants you to notice. They're not like us, you see. When men are growing up, this is very sexist, by the way. I'm sorry if I offend you. It's only my observation. But when men are growing up, things happen for them. And those things happen for them, they don't know how it happens, but laundry magics its way into a washer, and it magics its way out via an ironing board back into the cupboard. They don't know how it works, right? They don't know. Dishes, they eat their food off a dish, and that dish is recycled somehow back onto the table with more food on it. They don't know how this works, seriously. Some men now are a little more, aware of how this works, but a lot of men, I'm an old lady now. This was normal when I was growing up. And if a man does something for you, he really does want you to notice because he doesn't know about the house fairies that do this stuff, So if a man mows the lawn for you, he's going to come inside and go, me do good. And ladies, if you're smart, you'll go, yes, you did good. And then you give him a treat. Now, you can win at this game if you give him a treat, because he will mow the lawn again. If you do not give him a treat, he will not mow the lawn again, because he will think there are lawn fairies that will mow the lawn. And this is very important news. You can also enable this app if you buy them tools. You buy them heavy tools for their birthday. Make sure they're heavy tools that do things you want done. If you want holes in your walls, buy them a drill. If you do not want holes in your walls, do not buy them a drill. Okay? If you buy him tools that you want him to use. A sander, a jackhammer, a vibrator, all of this, you won't be able to resist it. Okay, but do be careful to buy tools that you yourself can use, because this can go wrong at times, your app can malfunction, you might end up doing the work yourself. Right, so you choose what tools you like. Then they also have this other app which I like to call Damsel. This happens when they're sick or cross. Okay, so when they're sick, men are not like women. Right? When a woman is ill, she will take medication and she will get on with her day. Men don't know about that. They enable Damsel app, okay, and this means that they become very unwell. But if you present them with medication, they will not take it. They will not call the doctor. That's ridiculous. They will not go to the pharmacy. Tomfoolery. They will not take the tablets. They will lie there weak, and you will have to get a little blanket and place it on his knees. This is required. They do not know about walking pneumonia. Walking pneumonia is a terminology that was made up for a woman who couldn't get an ambulance because she hadn't done the hoovering yet. Okay? And this is men. Now this is what I've learned, and I know this because I was married for 497 years. Those are prison years, like my sentences ran concurrently. Okay. It's true. A long time ago when I was a young woman, I married my best friend. To be fair, our husbands were mad. But that was a long time ago. Now I'm a widow. I hope, if it's all gone as planned. I'm kidding, that man has more lives than a cat. But I am back dating again. I'm a 50-year-old woman now. It's been a shock. I did not expect to turn 50. I did not expect to be dating when I was 50. I dated a millennial not long ago. That was fucking exhausting. No, it was. I mean, he was so sexy as well. He was like a 10, right? Really sexy. He was gorgeous. He was funny. He was energetic. He was kind. He was really obsessed with quite juvenile stuff. like Harry Potter, massive Harry Potter fan, which like brought him down from a 10 to a 9 3/4, to be fair. I had to make really big efforts to try and be younger myself. Something I said? I had to make efforts to try and appear younger. I mean, for a long time I took steps to avoid elevators. I had to colour my hair. That did not go well. That was a bad day. I tried to colour my hair. I got all the chemicals in my mouth. I'm not going to lie, I died a little inside. That was a tough day. I found a tampon in my teacup, and I couldn't find my tea bag. Keep up, guys. Dating didn't go great. I have to tell you, comedians do struggle for material, and my dating life has been a rich and endless source of bad luck that other people can laugh at and feel better about themselves. So I like to be useful. I'm not completely useless. Quite good as a bad example, actually, now I come to think of it. But I was seeing this guy, not like a hallucination, like dating, I was seeing this guy, it turns out he's from Rwanda, he was a really nice guy. This did worry me because he was lovely. And I thought, God, what if he's really nice? And then things are going on in my love life, and I just have to talk about menopause because that's going to be a dark place for everybody. So I was really worried about that, but it turns out it's okay. We did break up, and I don't know if it had anything to do with the question I asked him, which was, because I am like a local girl now, but I wasn't born in Swansea. I don't know if you noticed the accent. And he did say to me, where were you born? And I said, Zimbabwe. And he goes, oh, which part? And I was like, with me? I did ask him one day, if you're from Rwanda and you get divorced, which he was, are you still brother and sister? Anyway, he left. It's difficult. Dated this other guy, his name was Psycho Dave. When I met him, he was just called Dave. He told me he worked with animals. Turns out he was a butcher. That didn't go well. He was a drug addict. He was addicted to Viagra. I took it hard. I joined a few dating apps. That didn't work out, so I thought maybe what I need to do is stop joining dating apps and try to find people, like where men hang out. So I went to a mechanics class full of desperate women. I was like, damn it, went to a computer class full of desperate nerdy women. I was like totally outclassed. So I went to a micro penis support group, had a lot of fun. So there was this one guy, and I tend to make dates for the guys that I've dated, and things have turned out really badly. There's this one guy that I dated, I call him Comrade Guy. We met, we dated for a while. He was really boring. And that was his worst sin. The problem is, when you're my age and you've dated a lot of guys and they're like weird and psycho, I'm not saying that only the men are psycho, there's some really psycho ladies out there as well, particularly in Penang. But a lot of men are completely psycho, and I dated this guy and he wasn't psycho. I hardly ever got murdered by him, so that was good. And we decided to go out for Sunday lunch one day. We went for this lunch and I wasn't eating anything, but I was so bored. I was tempted to stick the fork in my own eyeball to distract me from the agony of being with this guy for a far too extended lunch. And he was eating his way slowly through everything on the table, and I was drinking my way swiftly through everything on the table. And when I drank everything, we got more, and I drank that too. Which meant that I was in a sorry state by 3 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. This was not a good time for me to be in a sorry state, because he said to me, I think you need coffee. And I was like, that's what I need coffee. I was sorted, honestly, it's embarrassing. So I was like, okay, let's get coffee. He goes, let's get coffee at your house. And I was like, oh, okay, let's get coffee at my house. Now, remember I told you I was married for 497 years and I didn't know anything about dating. It was way over my head. I have no experience. I don't know the code. But let me tell you, ladies, when he's asking you for coffee, he's not expecting a beverage. I did not know this. I let this man into my house, because I'm thick. And he came into my house, and I walked into the house, and I turned the kettle on, and I could see this look of bewilderment on his face, like, why do we need the kettle on? I was like, geez, I don't know, make you coffee, right? He didn't say it, into my lounge, and he grabbed me and he kissed me. And drunk me went, oh, this is what we're doing now. Okay. He was all right, you know. Not as good as 9 3/4 guy, but it was okay. Anyway, then he sat me down on my sofa. I was like, oh, it's romantic. And then he started to undo his belt, and I was like, oh, this is what we're doing, is it? Okay. Drunk me is very compliant. Anyway, this is a terrible story. And one day I'm going to meet this man who's going to know I've told the whole of Swansea what happened next. Because he took out little Boris. And he went, and made a mess of his hands. And he was done. I know. And then I heard the kettle click off, so that tells you how long that took. I have to tell you, ladies, I was not devastated. I was fairly pleased at this point that proceedings had come to a swift end. But he was sort of looking, he had a problem at this point, and I thought he would at this point go for a bathroom. This would be a logical progression in my mind, is that he would go to a bathroom. He did not go to a bathroom. What he did was look around my very tidy living room, and he saw a box of tissues on my coffee table, grabbed a few tissues, did a less than adequate job of tidying up himself. Boris stayed slimy. He put it away. No, right? Jesus Christ, dude, have some class at least. You're in a nice house. And there was good coffee too. Anyway, then he put it away, sat on the sofa and went to sleep, having left the tissues on my coffee table. I don't have words. I don't have words. So anyway, he was asleep. I was like, what's the etiquette? Do I wake him? Do I throw him out? What do I do? I don't know. This is not anywhere in my education. This is not in the help pages of Tinder. I do not know what to do. Does he need a coffee? I was quite obsessed with coffee at this point because I felt like there was something I needed to do and I hadn't done it yet. I'm slightly neurodivergent, so you know, we get stuck on stuff. So anyway, I had a coffee, he had a sleep, and then he got up, stretched, said, right babe, I'm off, and hecked off, leaving his cum rag. And that is why when I talk about cum rag guy, I'm not trying to murder the Welsh language. I'm talking about that man who left his tissues on my coffee table, and I did not have a biohazard suit. And I could not leave it there in case it turns to super glue and turns into an art installation. So I got all of the tissues in the box and picked it up and got rid of it. And that kept me off Tinder for 2 solid weeks. So you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for listening.